again. Hi, I'm so happy to see you today. I'm Holly, your friendly neighborhood carnivore, and today I want to talk about ghee, the store-bought stuff, why I don't like it, and I want to teach you guys how you can make your own that tastes so much better and is way less expensive. If you've never heard of ghee before, you're probably wondering what the heck I'm talking about and what is this jar I'm holding. So ghee is very similar to clarified butter. Clarified butter is simply butter that has had the milk solids removed from it. So it is just the fat. It's basically a dairy-free version of butter. You remove all of the milk solids from it and all you're left with is the fat itself. There's no dairy left in it. Now, ghee is supposed to be different than clarified butter. So ghee is made the same way, but instead of straining off the milk solids as soon as they've separated, it cooks longer so that those milk solids, they turn brown and they give the ghee a really nice sort of nutty kind of caramelized flavor. It makes the ghee absolutely delicious. And once it gets brown, that's when you strain off the milk solids so that you still have a dairy-free version. It just has such a better flavor. If you've ever had browned butter, you've kind of seen this process before. It's basically the same thing. It's just brown butter still has the milk solids in it. That's what the little brown bits are. So if you enjoy brown butter, you're going to love this ghee. All right, so I have two main issues with store-bought ghee. My first issue is the flavor. There is not a lot of flavor in store-bought ghee. In fact, it took me a while to even notice on the label that they label this as ghee, but if you look closely, it's actually clarified butter. They're just putting the ghee label there, but it's clarified butter, which explains why I don't like the flavor, because there is none. It doesn't taste like much at all. I bought this, honestly, I bought this a million years ago. I didn't like it. It got pushed to the back of the pantry. I didn't even realize this was back there. I just found it and was like, oh, perfect. I can show you guys what I'm talking about. This is so old that the year is currently 2025 and the date on my jar is May of 2019. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's ridiculous. The one beauty of ghee or clarified butter is since the milk solids are out of it, it does not have to be refrigerated. It's just fat. So even though this is many, many years old, it is perfectly fine. Even though it's past date, it smells fine, it looks fine, there's no mold, nothing growing on it. I'm just never gonna use it because I don't like the flavor of it. I'm probably gonna throw it away. The other issue with this stuff is it's expensive. This jar that I bought way back then was $7. This is a 13-ounce jar. And all the jars I've seen are around 13 ounces. They're about the same size. And I have seen these anywhere from that $7 all those years ago. I honestly haven't really looked to see if I could still find it that cheap. But I've seen it all the way up to like $16 or $17 for a jar. That is for 13 ounces, 13 ounces. So my mission here today is to teach you how to make your own ghee that is going to be extra delicious and extra affordable, because we're going to be able to make it for a fraction of the price of this cheap version, $7 from years ago. So here's what we're going to need. Okay, are you ready for this? Really big ingredients list. Okay, we need butter. Butter, that's it. One ingredient. We need butter. Not only that, you can use the cheapest butter you can find. I got 4 sticks of butter from Walmart. This was under $5. Under $5, 16 ounces of butter. So that's already more than we have in that jar right there. Now you might be wondering, hey Holly, why are you not using the super delicious grass-fed, grass-finished fancy butter that has all the extra nutrients and all that in it? I love some good grass-fed, grass-finished butter, but I don't want to spend that kind of money on something that I can make just as delicious with the really cheap stuff, but I can use the cheap stuff to make it. And then I still have my Kerrygold and all my fancy butter in the fridge that I will use when I have a recipe for it, or if I'm just putting it on something, or if I'm just munching on it. I don't need to change the flavor of the expensive Kerrygold and all those other grass-fed, grass-finished butters. It already tastes delicious. There's no need to change the flavor. These cheap sticks of butter, they don't have a lot of flavor. Like, they don't taste like much. When we turn this into ghee, it is going to have the most delicious, rich, beautiful flavor, and you are going to love it. All right, so let's grab those cheap sticks of butter, let's get in the kitchen, and let's get to cooking. Time to show you just how stupid easy it is to make ghee. All you have to do is throw your sticks of butter in a pot, place it on the stove setting the heat to low-medium, and that's it, you're practically done. All you do now is wait. I'm not kidding, you don't even have to stir this stuff. In this time lapse, you'll see I'm doing exactly that. I've got the stove set to low-medium heat and I'm starting off with 4 sticks of salted butter. As this cooks and the milk solids separate, the saltiness will be concentrated in the milk solids, and once you strain it off, it will not be salty at all. If you are one of those that doesn't add any salt in their diet, you can absolutely make this with unsalted butter instead. Just know that it will take a little longer for the milk solids to turn brown. The sticks of butter are melting down nicely here, and you'll notice it's starting to simmer. The big bubbles coming off the bottom are from the water that is cooking out and evaporating from your butter. You can see all the light colored bits floating on top. This is the milk solids, and as it cooks, they will start to sink to the bottom. As the butter cooks, you will notice the bubbles start to get smaller and the butter will start to get foamy. At this point, the milk solids have separated and all the additional water has evaporated. If you were to stop here and strain it, you would have clarified butter. To get that delicious, rich flavor that you should have in ghee, we're going to let it keep cooking. You'll see here I'm tilting the pot and gently swirling instead of stirring it. You can see the milk solids on the bottom of the pan. They are still light in color, so we need to keep cooking. The reason I don't stir is so most of the milk solids will stick to the bottom of the pot, so there will be less to deal with when I strain it off at the end. I like to let mine get pretty brown for a nice rich flavor. We're going to check it again, and you'll see here the milk solids at the bottom are a nice deep brown color. That means we're done. It's time to remove the ghee from the heat and carefully strain it through a mesh strainer. This stuff is hot, so use caution. You need to transfer it out of the pot so it will not continue to cook and burn, but I like to strain it into a temporary vessel first because it is so insanely hot that I've actually had it shatter one of my glass jars before from transferring it immediately. You can see here all the milk solids that remained in the bottom of the pot because I didn't stir it. Once it cools a bit, you can use a paper towel to wipe it out of your pot before cleaning it. Let the ghee cool for about 15 to 20 minutes at room temperature and then transfer it into your jar, pouring slowly so the foam on top doesn't get transferred and also keeping any bits of brown milk solids left behind that might have made it through the strainer. You'll notice here the foam and small bits of browned proteins left behind in the measuring cup. all that's left now is to screw on the lid and wait for the ghee to finish cooling off at room temperature. Right, so that process was pretty simple. Now we've got our jar of ghee. You can see this beautiful color, and I will show you compared to the very yellow, just clarified butters. This has got that nice caramelized flavor to it. It's hard to describe. It's kind of nutty, but kind of caramelized. It's delicious, absolutely delicious. You can use this anywhere where you would use butter, but also you can use this in places where butters gets a little bit tricky to use. For example, if you're cooking a steak and you're wanting to cook it in butter, you have to be really careful because butter tends to burn very easily since it has all of that protein in there with the milk solids. So typically, if you're gonna cook your steak and you're wanting that butter, you have to add it at the end. But if you want to cook your steak in the butter the whole time, you can use ghee instead of butter. It has a higher smoke point and all of the proteins have already been cooked out. It's not gonna be burning in your skillet. It's gonna be perfect for searing those steaks. What's so great about ghee is that it's dairy-free. So on my carnivore lifestyle, I don't really eat dairy. The only dairy that I do consume is butter. And even then, I really should be limiting that butter. I love to use this. I try to keep it on hand so that I can use it anywhere where I would have used butter. I like to make fatty lattes with it. And like I said, I'm dairy-free. So that means I'm not putting heavy cream or milk or anything like that in a latte. So what I'm using are egg yolks and oftentimes ghee. Sometimes I'll do brown butter, but egg yolks and ghee, a pinch of salt, and I will either blend it with hot water or decaf coffee or hot tea. It makes a wonderful hot beverage. And it gets you all that extra fat that you need. So I'll be sharing how I make those in the future with you guys. In the meantime, I hope you will go get you some cheap butter and try making your own ghee. I don't think you will regret it. It is a wonderful staple to keep in the kitchen. You don't have to refrigerate it. You can keep it on your counter. You can keep it in the pantry. This is a wonderful go-to butter replacement. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a like and please leave me a comment. I absolutely love being part of the carnivore community. And even anyone else that watches this that isn't carnivore, go ahead and leave me a comment. I just love connecting with people and I would love to hear from you. I am also on X and Instagram. You will see what I eat every day. And again, just leave me some comments. I love to talk to you guys. So come say hi. And if you want to keep watching my videos, why don't you subscribe and hit that notification bell, and that way you'll know when the next one comes on. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
She's the friendly neighborhood carnivore with a talent for cooking up a meaty uproar. From juicy steaks to sizzling ribs galore, she'll have you coming back for more. Fellas, smash that like button. She's the carnivore cooking queen. On your screen, bringing the meaty scene. Come on over and join the team for a culinary dream.